What's up, y'all? Slick Talk God, Slick Walk Nation. How's everybody feeling out there? How you doing? Okay. Like I said, it topics pop up that I don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'm not the person to talk about everything that pops up, right? Just to like the real important stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be real with y'all with this YouTube thing. You know what I'm saying? When you see these bloggers talking about a bunch of things, bunch of things, is because the more stuff you talk about, the more you get in the algorithm, the more you make money, the more money come. Like it's all that. But I just can't. You know what I'm saying? That's just not me. So whatever I do, I stay true to myself, even if it's costing me not making the money I could be making or something like that. I stay true to myself, and I'm gonna be blessed regardless. That's how I look at it, right? I don't even know why I just even said that. What is this? An after school special? What am I even sitting here talking about? I don't know. Like sometimes I just come on here. I don't know. I just be talking for some reason. My fault, man. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sitting there like we had um a after school program. All right, let's get down to it. Egos aside, all egos aside, call me. This is something to talk about though, because I want to give y'all my point of view on it. Right? Easy the block captain. I believe put out a tweet that said, "All egos aside." For URL to call them, right? So I'm gonna break some things down on why. First of all, shout out to Eazy because I think that's a grown man move. You really got to put your pride aside to say something like that, but it's still a little bit of pride in there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you why. But shout out to Eazy for even making the first step to even say that. That's a big first move and that's a big first step. You got to give somebody their props for those type of things, right? Like you have to. I don't care what none of y'all say, right? So shout out to Easy for that. So you see, I use the word pride. Now, there's nothing wrong with having pride as a woman or as a man, right? As a man, as a woman, whatever. Just being an adult, being grown, there's nothing wrong with having pride. Having too much pride is a problem. Okay. So what I mean by having too much pride is all right, let me even with me, right? When I was younger, I had a lot of pride, and I think anybody being younger has a whole bunch of pride. I think that's just something people have, right? As you get older, you're supposed to learn how to minimize that pride because a lot of pride, puts you in a messed up situation or a messed up position. You'll lose a lot of things having a lot of pride, but you still got to keep some pride as a man, right? You can't let nobody just run over you or things like that. So you got to have some kind of pride. You know what I'm saying? To certain things. I think URL and Easy the block captain hooking back up and Easy getting back on there be great. One of the problems is a lot of things that was said in the public. And when you say things in the public, you put a bunch of different minds into your business and give a bunch of different people a voice to speak on it, which makes things worse for everything, any situation. So, although I like what Easy said and where he's going, I think, like, seriously, I think that's a real big thing of him to do that. Because so many things were said in the public, now the first thing to even getting on the right track and starting the train back up to for him to battle on URL is he will have to apologize in the public because a lot of things on his side were said. We all know this, and I respect Eazy for taking a stance on what he believed in, no matter if anybody believed in what he believed in, or even not, if I did, or he knew what he wanted to do, and he stood on what he said for the most part at that time, right? But when you say those things, though, honestly, it's kind of like you got to stand on that forever. That's one of the messed up things. But that's why I'm saying it takes a big person to do something like that. Now, the first step is apologizing in public, because a lot of things were said in public. All right. I think even before the apology in public, I think he shouldn't have went to the internet with saying that. I think he just should have called URL himself and spoke to them himself, because, and this is real talk, it's still pride there, a lot of pride there. Still with Eazy saying that, it's still pride there, because he said, all egos aside, call me. URL is not gonna call Eazy. And you saying that, you can't tell somebody, yo, listen, I'm ready to make amends, call me. Like, it's like I got beef with somebody and I say, yo, listen, I'm ready to squash, so let's call me. The person on the other side, as a man, is gonna have pride. He gonna say, no, nigga, you call me. This is where stuff don't get fixed. So I feel like Eazy should have, called them himself and not put it out there. That's just how I feel. Now, even with him saying that, it was a step, because he's saying, yo, listen, call me. I think after he put that out, he still should have reached out to them himself and got in touch with them himself. You get what I'm saying? I think that's the very first step. And I think after that, a public apology is gonna be needed, because you can't, and I live by this. This is me. This is something I live by. You can't say stuff in public and then talk about it with me behind closed doors. No. Wherever we had a disagreement at, or you said something at, and you chose to voice your opinion about me, that's the same place you have to apologize at or make it right at. That's the same place. So even if you call me and say, yo, my fault, bro, like, I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? I was bugging, and as a man, I respect that. And I'm gonna sit there and say, you know what? I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. But the same thing you saying to me now, bro, you went on Hip Hop Is Real, or 15 Minutes of Fame, or this is just me saying this about just throwing something out, or that your internet or your YouTube, I don't care if you got 5 people. You said that there, so you need to apologize to me there. All right, because on that's pride. My pride as a man, I'm not gonna let you get away with something in public and apologize to me behind closed doors where nobody can hear it. And if you're not around me, it still looks like I just accepted what you did, and you played me. That's my pride as a man. It's not gonna happen. So I'm just thinking from me, and I'm saying, I know URL, I feel like they way more powerful than me. I know URL is gonna feel the same way towards that. So this is just what I think needs to happen. I think Eazy the Block Captain can be back on URL, and he can battle back on URL. I think it happen. I think it'll be a shocker. I think it'll be dope. I think it'll hype up battle rap again. I think that'll be something that hypes battle rap back up like crazy, right? Because it'll be something new. That's like if Surf come home, that's gonna hype back up. Just something new and refreshing, something that they never expected, and I think that'd be dope. And we Eazy versus Tay Rock, we got to figure out how to do that battle somehow, some way. That's one of the battles that has to go down. The only place that battle can go down is on URL. I think it's the only place it makes sense. I think it's the only place it I don't think Rock would do it nowhere else, and I think that's where it needs to go down. So with them, I think it's dope, and I think it can happen, and I want it to happen. These are just the steps I think it needs to be taken first. I think Eazy need to holler at them by itself. Nobody listen to this I'm sorry. I think after that, a public apology is needed. You know what I'm saying? Maybe on both ends, but I think Easy do need to initiate it because he took it to the net and he said how he felt, and ain't nothing wrong with that. So I think he should apologize then and say, look, we squashed it. This is what it is. My fault for the stuff I said. Boom, boom, boom. This is how I felt. You know what I'm saying? I stood on what I said, but I think it's time for us to do some business again. Da 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 da. And then URL can respond back, and say if they want, say they're sorry or apologize for whatever they want to take responsibility of, right? Or if they don't, because Easy went to the public, is right fit to come from him. Period. Even if URL doesn't do it, and I think after that, they can definitely make that happen with Easy. And Easy being back on URL against Tay Rock, what should be dope. Um, Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I feel like those are the steps. I do want to hear how y'all feel if I'm missing something from y'all point of view, if it's more steps y'all think should happen, or if y'all feel like that's a good way to start it off, and do stuff. But these are just the steps I feel like should happen, and these steps make this work. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, don't to the I don't know if nobody said this, but this is I know how battle rap fans think, and I know how some people think at times. Don't look at it like, oh, Easy is bitching up now, and no, bro, this is grown. All right, if you feel like after a while, dag man, maybe I handled this in a way I shouldn't have handled it. Maybe I could have handled this like this. That's growth as a man. That shows that you can admit and you can sit back and say, I probably was wrong for this. That's a very, very dope thing. So I don't believe in that. Like, oh, now he going back on his words. I mean, he could just feel like he was wrong in some things he did. And you know what? I like battling on URL. I don't want to, because I don't believe in blocking any source of income. I don't believe in having bad blood with anybody or shitting on anybody because it can come back around. It's like you blocking source of income. He could be on URL getting money. He could go battle over here. He could go battle over here. It don't make no sense to block. You know what I'm saying? Or one of the biggest leagues, if you don't have to, if you can mend that, I would do that as a businessman. That's just it. But let me know what y'all think. I don't want to be on here too long. Let me know what y'all think. Um, I really, really want to hear what y'all think and how y'all feel about the situation. And you can say what you want to say. I really want to know how y'all feel about the situation. So if you do feel like however you feel, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. I'm gonna go look and check it out. And I appreciate y'all. Select to a God. I'm going.